The command center of Unity Hub buzzed with activity as coalition forces prepared for the approaching Purity Conclave ships. Director Patel stood before a large tactical display, with Captain Carter, Security Chief Martinez, Kel, and other leaders gathered around her. 7 ships, Director Patel said, pointing to the screen. They will be in weapons range in 20 minutes. Station defenses, Captain Carter asked. Still at 60% after the sabotage, she replied. Our combat vessels are outnumbered. Captain Carter studied the display. The Horizon isn't primarily a warship, but we have defensive capabilities. We'll join your fleet. Director Patel nodded gratefully. Every ship helps. Kel stepped forward. I have contacted other Drazak who oppose Vresh. 2 nearby Drazak vessels have agreed to fight with us. They will arrive in 30 minutes. That might be too late, Frank Martinez observed. Administrator Shen entered the room. I've tried hailing Commander Vresh. He demands we surrender all humans to his custody, or he will attack the station. That's not happening, Greg Jones said firmly. Captain Carter pointed to a section of the tactical display. What if we position our ships here, in the shadow of the station's defense grid? We could surprise Vresh's forces when they approach. Director Patel considered the strategy. A solid plan. I'll order our ships into position. As battle preparations continued, Dr. Vasquez approached Captain Carter. I have a different idea, she said quietly. One that might avoid bloodshed. 20 minutes later, the Purity Conclave ships arrived, taking up attack positions around Unity Hub. Commander Vresh's face appeared on the main communication screen. Administrator Shen, he said coldly. Have you considered my offer? We have, Administrator Shen replied. But before we respond, someone wishes to speak with you. The screen split, and Dr. Vasquez appeared alongside Kel. Commander Vresh, Dr. Vasquez said. We've studied the data from the station attack. When the crisis began, we recorded the biometric readings of all species present. Vresh frowned. What does this matter now? Because the data tells an interesting story, Chell continued. While humans rushed toward danger, most species showed fear responses, including Drazak. Dr. Vasquez displayed a chart, except for one Drazak who showed no fear at all. You, Commander Vresh, because you knew the attack was coming. Murmurs spread through the command center. On the screen showing the interiors of the Purity Conclave ships, other Drazak looked at Vresh with confusion. What also interests me, Dr. Vasquez continued, is that you fled rather than stayed to fight. Is that the behavior of a true Deathworlder? Vresh's face darkened with rage. You question my courage. I have survived conditions that would kill most species. Surviving harsh conditions is one thing, Kel said. But humans showed us that true strength comes from protecting others, not abandoning them. On the other Purity Conclave ships, more Drazak were talking among themselves, clearly unsettled. Your followers don't know the whole truth, Captain Carter said, joining the conversation. You told them humans were a threat, but you never explained why you fear us so much. Because you would replace us. Vresh shouted, losing composure. Deathworlders are respected and feared. It is our identity. Without it, what are we? Allies, Kel said simply. Partners. Friends. There is no competition here. Vresh. Being strong together is better than being strong alone. On 2 of the Purity Conclave ships, Drazak officers were now openly arguing with each other. A moment later, one ship broke formation, then another. Commander, a Drazak officer reported from behind Vresh. The Talon and the Claw have disengaged. They're standing down. Vresh turned, his expression furious. Traitors. Captain Carter addressed the remaining ships. This doesn't need to end in battle. We can work together. Earth and Drakkar both produced strong species, but for different reasons. We have much to learn from each other. One by one, the other ships broke formation. Finally, only Vresh's command ship remained in attack position. It's over, Commander, Director Patel said. Stand down your weapons. For a long moment, Vresh stood rigid with anger. Then his shoulders slumped. "Lower shields," he ordered quietly. "Power down weapons." 6 months later, Unity Hub hosted a very different ceremony. Humans and Drazek stood side by side on the stage as Administrator Shen formalized the new Joint Exploration Initiative. Captain Carter and Kel, now a respected Drazek leader, shook hands as equal partners. "Today marks a new understanding," Administrator Shen announced. "We recognize that strength comes in many forms. The term Deathworlder is no longer a division but a bond between those who have faced challenges and emerged stronger together." 3 days after the attack, Unity Hub was still under repair. Emergency teams worked around the clock to restore damaged systems. In a secure meeting room, Captain Carter and his crew sat across from Director Patel, Administrator Shen, and other coalition officials. "The evidence is clear," Director Patel said, displaying images on the main screen. Commander Vresh and his followers planted devices throughout the station. They intended to create chaos and blame it on human incompatibility with coalition systems. "Where is Commander Vresh now?" asked Greg Jones, the Earth diplomat. "Escaped," Director Patel said with frustration. "He and his core supporters took a ship during the confusion. We're tracking them, but they've gone into hiding." Administrator Shen's 4 arms moved in a gesture of regret. "I must formally apologize for this attack. The actions of the Purity Conclave do not represent the Coalition's views." "We understand," Captain Carter said. "Every society has extremists." The door opened, and a Drazek entered. It was Kel, the scientist who had warned Dr. Vasquez. "You asked to see me, Administrator," Kel said, nervously eyeing the humans. "Yes," Administrator Shen replied. "Please tell everyone what you told me earlier." Kel straightened his posture. Not all Drazak supported Commander Vresh's actions. Many of us were horrified by the attack. He hesitated. "We have been taught that being Deathworlders makes us superior, but what we saw during the crisis changed our minds." "What do you mean?" Greg Jones asked. "While Commander Vresh and his followers fled, humans ran into danger to save others, even species they had just met. We watched your medical officer work in near-vacuum conditions. Your engineer exposed himself to radiation levels that would kill a Drazek. Your security chief walked through fire." Kel looked directly at the humans. "That is true strength, not just surviving harsh conditions, but risking yourself for others." Captain Carter nodded respectfully to Kel. "Thank you for your honesty." Director Patel changed the display to show a complex network of connections. "The Purity Conclave is larger than we realized. We've identified members from 7 different species, all united by fear of human potential." "Fear?" Frank Martinez questioned. "We only have 1 ship. We're hardly a threat." "It's not what humans are now," John Miller explained. "It's what you might become." The Coalition has seen how quickly Earth advanced from primitive technology to interstellar travel. Combined with human adaptability and resilience, some fear you'll outpace everyone else. Dr. Vasquez brought up another display showing medical data. "During the crisis, we collected biometric readings. Humans showed remarkable stress responses. You maintain clear thinking even when adrenaline levels spike. Your bodies efficiently manage oxygen when supplies are low. You instinctively coordinate during emergencies without needing formal command structures. Those are survival traits from Earth," Dr. Wright explained. "When disaster strikes, humans naturally organize and help each other." Administrator Shen considered this information. "The question now is how we move forward. The attack has changed many perspectives. Several species who were cautious about humans now see you as potential protectors." "And the Drazak?" Captain Carter asked, looking at Kel. "We are divided," Kel admitted. "But those of us who oppose Vresh would welcome cooperation with humans. We realize now that being a Deathworlder isn't just about physical strength. It's about community survival and adaptation." Greg Jones leaned forward. "Then let's formalize an alliance." Earth and the moderate Drazak, working together within the coalition framework. Kel's eyes widened. You would partner with us after what happened. Why not? Frank said with a smile. On Earth, we have a saying. The strongest alliances are forged in fire. Director Patel nodded slowly. Such an alliance would send a powerful message to the Purity Conclave. It would show that cooperation, not isolation, is the path forward. It would also give us better resources to track down Commander Fresh and his supporters. Administrator Shen added. They still pose a threat. Captain Carter extended his hand to Kel. What do you say? Partners. This time, unlike Commander Fresh, Kel took the offered hand. Partners. As they shook hands, Officer Baker's communication device beeped urgently. She checked it, her expression growing serious. What is it? Captain Carter asked. Long-range sensors have detected multiple ships approaching, she said. They're all Purity Conclave vessels, heavily armed. And they're led by Commander Fresh. Without waiting for a response, she fitted the mask over her face and moved toward the damaged section. The air grew thinner with each step. Her ears popped painfully. Despite the mask, breathing became difficult as the pressure dropped. Lisa reached the panel and began the repair, her fingers growing numb in the cold of near vacuum. Several aliens watched in disbelief as she worked methodically despite conditions that should have incapacitated her. The welcoming ceremony for Greg Jones was reaching its conclusion. Glasses were raised in a toast to new friendships between Earth and the Coalition. Captain Carter noticed Commander Fresh and his group leaving the hall early but thought little of it. Communications specialist Susan Clark, who had joined the human delegation, approached Captain Carter. Something feels off, she whispered. Security seems tense. Before Carter could respond, the lights flickered. A low rumble shook the floor. Then everything went dark. Everyone stay calm. Administrator Shen's voice called out. Emergency lights came on, casting an eerie blue glow across the hall. Captain Carter's communicator buzzed. Carter here. Captain, it's Engineer Ross. We have multiple systems failing across the station. Power grid, life support, gravity controls, all going haywire. This isn't an accident. The floor lurched beneath them. People screamed as artificial gravity fluctuated, sending some floating upward while others were pressed harder to the floor. All Coalition personnel, this is Director Patel, announced a voice over the emergency system. We are experiencing a coordinated attack on station systems. Proceed to emergency shelters immediately. Carter looked at his team. Frank, help security maintain order here. Susan, establish an emergency communication channel. Greg, stay with Administrator Shen. What about you? Frank asked. I'm going to find Dr. Wright and Olivia. We need to assess the damage. As Carter left the hall, a violent explosion rocked the station. Alarms blared. A section of wall tore open, exposing the corridor to vacuum. Emergency shields activated but flickered unstably. In the central control room, Director Patel worked frantically with her team. Dr. Vasquez had joined them. Life support is failing in sections 12 through 18, an operator reported. Oxygen levels dropping. Evacuate those areas. Director Patel ordered. Reroute power from non-essential systems to maintain shields. Dr. Vasquez studied the system diagnostics. This is too coordinated. Someone planted devices throughout the station. The Purity Conclave, Director Patel said grimly. They're trying to create a crisis. In a residential section, Dr. Lisa Wright found herself helping injured aliens as emergency bulkheads sealed, trapping many in increasingly dangerous conditions. The pressure is dropping too fast. A frightened Celti told her, we won't survive until help arrives. Lisa assessed the situation quickly. A damaged panel sparked nearby. We need to seal that breach manually. Impossible, that Celti said. The atmosphere is already too thin to breathe. Lisa opened her medical kit and pulled out an emergency oxygen mask. It's enough for about 5 minutes. I can do it. News about the humans spread quickly through Unity Hub. Aliens whispered as the Earth crew walked by. Some moved away in fear. Others approached with curious questions. Security Chief Frank Martinez noticed both reactions with concern. "We've become celebrities overnight," he said to Captain Carter as they walked toward their next meeting. "Not sure if that's good or bad." "Probably both," Captain Carter replied. Administrator Shen mentioned that several coalition species have requested meetings with us. They entered a large conference room where Director Nell Patel waited. She was in charge of coalition security and had requested an urgent private meeting. "Thank you for coming," Director Patel said. She was a tall, thin alien with pale blue skin and 4 eyes that blinked in alternating pairs. "We need to discuss the political situation developing around your arrival." "Political situation?" Captain Carter asked. "We've only been here 2 days." Director Patel activated a holographic display showing different colored sections of the station. These are the different political factions forming. The green areas represent species who see humans as valuable potential allies. The yellow areas are neutral or undecided. The red areas, she paused. Those are groups who consider humans a potential threat. The Drazak, Frank guessed. Some Drazak, yes. Director Patel confirmed. But also others who fear what humans represent. Your adaptability and resilience make some species nervous. John Miller, who had joined them, leaned forward. What exactly are they afraid of? That humans will dominate too quickly. Director Patel said simply. That your natural advantages will give you too much influence. The Drazak built their position in the coalition on being survivors and protectors. They fear losing that status. Captain Carter shook his head. We came to learn and exchange knowledge, not take over. Intent doesn't always matter in politics, Director Patel said. Perception drives action. A soft beep interrupted them. Director Patel checked her communication device. Earth diplomat Greg Jones has arrived with your formal delegation. They're docking now. Good, Captain Carter said. Greg is experienced. He'll help smooth things over. In another part of the station, Dr. Mira Vasquez worked in her lab, analyzing data from the human demonstrations. The door slid open, and a Drazak scientist named Kel entered. Unlike most Drazak, Kel was smaller and less aggressive in manner. Dr. Vasquez, may I speak with you? Kel asked. Of course, Mira said, gesturing to a seat. What can I help you with? Kel looked around nervously. Not all Drazak agree with Commander Vresh. Some of us see the humans as potential allies, not rivals. That's good to hear, Mira said. Cooperation would benefit everyone. Yes, but... Kel hesitated. Commander Vresh and his supporters feel humiliated. They are planning something. Mira put down her datapad. Planning what? I don't know exactly, but they've been meeting secretly with representatives from other species who fear human integration into the coalition. Mira frowned. How many species are we talking about? At least 3 that I know of, Kel said. They call themselves the Purity Conclave. They believe allowing humans full access to coalition technology would be dangerous. I need to report this, Mira said, reaching for her communicator. Please, Kel said quickly, don't reveal your source. I would be marked as a traitor. Mira nodded. I'll be discreet. Across the station, the formal welcoming ceremony for Earth diplomat Greg Jones was underway. The Grand Hall was filled with representatives from all coalition species. Greg Jones was a tall man with gray hair and a friendly face. He stood on the stage with Administrator Shen, Captain Carter, and other officials. On behalf of Earth, I thank the Galactic Coalition for this warm welcome, Greg said. We look forward to a long and beneficial relationship between our worlds. From his position at the side of the hall, Commander Vresh watched with cold eyes. Beside him stood representatives from 3 other species, all watching the humans with similar expressions of distrust. Is everything ready? Commander Vresh asked quietly. The alien beside him nodded. All systems are in place. When the time comes, we will show everyone how dangerous these humans truly are. The training facility was large and circular, with different sections set up for various tests. Viewing areas surrounded the main floor, and they were packed with aliens eager to watch. Word had spread quickly about the humans and their supposed super Deathworld origins. Captain Carter and his crew entered wearing simple exercise clothes. Security Chief Frank Martinez rolled his shoulders, looking relaxed. Dr. Lisa Wright carried a small medical kit. Science Officer Olivia Baker held a data pad to record results. The Drazak team arrived wearing minimal gear that showed off their muscular bodies and tough, ridged skin. Commander Vresh led them, his eyes fixed on the humans. Dr. Zen stood in the center of the facility. We have prepared several tests to compare physical abilities in a scientific manner. This is an educational exchange, not a competition. Commander Vresh snorted. Call it what you wish. Let us begin. The first test was strength. A Drazak named Gorv stepped forward and lifted a heavy metal bar. Indicators showed it weighed equivalent to 300 Earth pounds. The Drazak strained but managed to lift it over his head. The Drazak delegation cheered. Frank Martinez went next. He approached the same weight, tested it once, then lifted it smoothly overhead. The crowd murmured. Frank nodded to the technicians. Add more weight, he said. They added another 100 pounds. Frank lifted again, showing more effort but still succeeding. The Drazak watched in silence. Your gravity is stronger, Commander Vresh said. You have an advantage. The next test was endurance. The participants had to run in a circular track with the gravity slowly increasing. A Drazak runner lasted 8 minutes before stopping, sweating heavily from their scale-like skin. Olivia Baker ran next. She maintained a steady pace, breathing evenly. After 10 minutes, she was still running strong. At 12 minutes, she finally signaled to stop, barely winded. I could go longer, she said, but I think we've made the point. For the third test, they entered a chamber where the temperature would gradually change. A Drazak and Dr. Wright sat inside together. The temperature dropped rapidly. The Drazak began shivering at -10 degrees Celsius. At -20, they asked to leave. Dr. Wright sat calmly, her skin slightly red but otherwise comfortable. Humans have excellent temperature regulation, she explained as they reset the chamber. We can survive in temperatures from -50 to +50 Celsius with proper preparation. When the heat test began, the Drazak performed better, tolerating up to 45 degrees. Dr. Wright matched this, though with more visible discomfort. A draw, Commander Vresh declared, looking pleased. Next came pain tolerance. A Drazak placed his hand in a solution that caused mild skin irritation. He held it there for 2 minutes, face tight with pain but determined. Captain Carter did the same, maintaining a conversation with Administrator Shen throughout the full 3 minutes. How is this possible? A spectator asked. Kevin Ross, the ship's engineer who had joined them, spoke up. Humans experience pain differently. Our bodies produce natural painkillers. Plus, we can mentally separate from pain when needed. You're saying you can ignore pain by thinking? Commander Vresh asked incredulously. Not ignore, Captain Carter corrected. Compartmentalize. It's still there, but we can function through it. The final test was perhaps the most shocking to the aliens. Both groups were presented with puzzles to solve while environmental conditions gradually worsened. Noise increased, temperature fluctuated, and mild irritants were introduced to the air. The Drazak struggled to concentrate, their performance declining as conditions deteriorated. The humans showed minimal impact, continuing to solve problems efficiently. This is how we evolved, Olivia explained afterward. On Earth, you still need to think clearly when a predator is chasing you or when caught in a storm. As the demonstrations ended, the mood among the watching aliens had changed. The fear and skepticism had shifted to a mixture of awe and concern. Commander Vresh stood stiffly, You have proven your physical capabilities, he admitted grudgingly. But strength alone does not make a species great. We agree completely, Captain Carter said, extending his hand. Each species has unique strengths. We came here to learn and share, not to compete. Commander Vresh stared at the outstretched hand, but did not take it. Instead, he turned and walked away, his delegation following. That could have gone better, Frank Martinez said. Dr. Vasquez shook her head. Actually, it went exactly as expected. The Drazak just had their entire identity challenged. They need time. Time for what? Captain Carter asked. To decide if humans are allies, John Miller said quietly, or threats. Administrator Shen led the humans to a large meeting room. The walls displayed moving images of different planets and star systems. Around a circular table sat representatives from various coalition species. The Drazak delegation sat together, Commander Vresh at their center. Captain Carter, Science Officer Baker, Security Chief Martinez, and Dr. Wright took seats on one side. John Miller and Dr. Vasquez joined them, sitting between the Earth crew and the aliens. Let us be direct, Administrator Shen began. Our scientists have analyzed the information about Earth. By our classification system, your planet would be categorized as a Class 5 death world. Captain Carter looked confused. A what? Dr. Vasquez leaned forward. It's how the Coalition ranks planets based on how dangerous they are to life. Class 1 is paradise-like. Class 5 was theoretical until now. No known sentient species evolved on anything higher than Class 3. Commander Vresh slammed his fist on the table. Impossible. Drakar is Class 3, the most extreme world to produce intelligent life. Until now, a small blue alien said quietly. This was Dr. Zen, the Coalition's chief xenobiologist. The data is clear. Earth's combination of extreme weather patterns, tectonic activity, varied biomes, powerful predators, and microbial diversity makes it uniquely challenging. Dr. Wright looked around. Earth isn't that bad. Sure, we have hurricanes, earthquakes, and the occasional volcano, but you have multiple disaster zones active at any given time, Dr. Zen interrupted. Your planet has regions where the temperature drops below freezing for months, while other areas remain scorching hot. You have oceans covering most of your surface with regular storm systems. Your wildlife includes thousands of venomous species. And yet you choose to swim in those oceans, Commander Vresh said with disbelief. We have seen your data streams. Your people intentionally climb ice mountains and jump from high places for fun. Frank Martinez smiled. You mean skydiving? Yeah, it's pretty exciting. The alien stared at him in silence. I think there's a misunderstanding, Olivia Baker said. Earth has dangers, yes, but we've adapted. Our bodies can regulate temperature across wide ranges. We have immune systems that fight off countless pathogens daily. We can heal from injuries that would kill other species. Dr. Zen tapped on a datapad. Indeed, human physiology is remarkable. Your skeletal structure is denser than most species. Your cardiovascular system is extremely efficient. Your digestive system can process a wide variety of foods, including some mild toxins. Most impressive is your endurance. Few species can maintain physical activity for as long as humans. The Drazak representatives whispered among themselves. Commander Vresh looked increasingly agitated. So the Drazak aren't the toughest species anymore? John Miller asked, sensing the tension. Administrator Shen raised her 4 hands. This is not a competition. Each species brings unique strengths to the Coalition. It certainly feels like a competition, Captain Carter observed. We didn't come here to challenge anyone's status. Commander Vresh stood up. Your very existence is a challenge. The Drazak have built our identity on being survivors, on being stronger than others. Now we are supposed to accept that humans are, what? Super Deathworlders. Dr. Vasquez spoke calmly. Commander, different doesn't mean better. Humans and Drazik evolved for different conditions. You likely have adaptations we don't. Prove it, Commander Vresh said suddenly. Prove these claims about human capabilities. Security Chief Martinez stood up, matching Vresh's stance. What exactly did you have in mind? Administrator Shen stepped between them. That is enough. This meeting was for information exchange, not challenges. Dr. Wright looked thoughtful. Actually, a demonstration might help everyone understand. Nothing dangerous, just a way to compare different biological abilities. That seems reasonable, Captain Carter agreed. As long as it's handled scientifically, not as some kind of fight. Dr. Zen's eyes lit up. We could use the training facilities. They have variable gravity settings, atmospheric controls, temperature regulation. Commander Vresh's angry expression shifted to something more calculating. Yes, let us see what these humans can really do. Tomorrow, we will all learn the truth about who the real Deathworlders are. As the meeting ended, John pulled Captain Carter aside. Be careful, he whispered. The Drazik take this very seriously. It's their entire cultural identity at stake. Captain Carter nodded. Don't worry, we'll handle this diplomatically. But across the room, Commander Vresh was already gathering his delegation, their expressions grim and determined. The airlock hissed open. Captain Carter stepped through first, followed by Science Officer Baker and two other humans. One was a tall man with dark skin and a serious expression, the other a woman with short blonde hair carrying medical equipment. Welcome to Unity Hub, Shen said. I am Administrator Shen. You have met Diplomat Miller already. This is Dr. Vasquez, also of Earth origin. Captain Alex Carter, the captain said, shaking Shen's hand. This is Science Officer Olivia Baker, Security Chief Frank Martinez, and Medical Officer Dr. Lisa Wright. As introductions continued, Dr. Wright took out a small device and began scanning the air. Is there a problem? Shen asked. Standard procedure when entering new environments, Dr. Wright explained. The Unity Hub Control Center buzzed with activity. Aliens of all shapes and sizes moved between workstations, their voices a mix of natural sounds and translator outputs. At the center of it all, Administrator Shen stood tall, her silvery skin reflecting the blue lights of the main display. Show me the vessel again, she ordered. The screen changed to show a sleek ship, unlike any Coalition design. It had a long central body with two wing-like structures extending from the sides. Smaller thrusters dotted its hull, and a large engine glowed at the rear. The ship calls itself Horizon, said the communications officer, a small green alien with large eyes. They claim to be from a planet called Earth. John Miller stepped forward. Administrator, I need to speak with you. Privately. Shen nodded and led John to a side room. Dr. Mira Vasquez followed them. What do you know of this ship, Diplomat Miller? Shen asked once the door closed. John took a deep breath. Earth is my home planet, Administrator, but we've never sent ships this far into space before. At least, not that I was told about. Shen's four arms crossed in what John recognized as surprise. You are from the same world as these newcomers. This was not in your file. Because it shouldn't be possible. Mira cut in. John and I were found as children by a Coalition research vessel that crashed on Earth 30 years ago. We were rescued, but Earth was classified as too primitive for contact. It had no faster-than-light travel. Yet here they are, Shen said, looking back at the screen. Open a channel. The main screen flickered, and a human face appeared. The man had short brown hair, a clean-shaven face, and wore a dark blue uniform with silver trim. This is Captain Alex Carter of the Earth exploration vessel Horizon. We come in peace and seek diplomatic contact. Shen stepped forward. I am Administrator Shen of the Galactic Coalition. Your arrival is unexpected. Our records indicated your species had not yet developed interstellar travel. Captain Carter smiled. We've been working on it quietly for some time. This is our first journey beyond our solar system. We detected your station, and thought it would be a good place for first contact. John couldn't contain himself anymore. He moved into view of the screen. "Captain, I'm John Miller. I'm human, from Earth." Carter's eyes widened. "Another human. Out here." He turned to someone off-screen. "Olivia, are you seeing this?" A woman with curly black hair moved into view. She wore the same uniform, but with different insignia. "I'm Science Officer Olivia Baker. This is incredible. How did you get here?" "It's a long story," John said. "But I've been with the Coalition for most of my life." Shen raised a hand. "Perhaps these discussions can wait until after proper protocols are observed. Captain Carter, we invite you to dock with Unity Hub. We will prepare a welcoming committee." Carter nodded. "We accept. We'll need about an hour to reach your station." After the communication ended, Shen turned to John. "You will join the welcoming party. Your presence will help ease tensions." By the time the Horizon docked, news had spread throughout the station. Representatives from many species gathered to witness the arrival, including the Drazek delegation. Commander Vresh stood with his arms crossed, watching the airlock with narrow eyes. Dr. Mira Vasquez stared through the observation window at the Drazek delegation entering the main chamber of Unity Hub. The aliens moved with a powerful grace that made other species step back. Their gray-green skin looked thick and rough, like tree bark, and the bony ridges above their eyes gave them a permanently fierce expression. "Impressive specimens, aren't they?" John Miller said, joining her at the window. As Earth's senior diplomat to the Galactic Coalition, he had seen many alien species, but the Drazek still made him pause. "They certainly want everyone to think so," Mira replied. She checked the readings on her datapad. Their planet has 1.3 times Earth's gravity and an atmosphere with mild acid content, harsh by Coalition standards, but not as extreme as they make it sound. Below them, the Drazek leader stepped forward. He was taller than the others, with deeper skin ridges and a ceremonial metal band around his thick neck. "I am Commander Vresh," he announced, his translator making his growling voice clear to all species present. "We Drazek come before the Coalition as equals, though we know many of you fear us." He smiled, showing rows of blunt teeth. "Your fear is not without reason. We are Deathworlders. We survived where lesser species would perish." Mira noticed how the other aliens reacted. The bird-like Avari shuffled their feathers nervously. The Xelti representatives, with their delicate blue skin, moved closer together. Even the robotic Mech Collective seemed to position themselves farther from the Drazek. Their homeworld, Drakar, has regular acid storms and earthquake activity, John said quietly. Their folklore is full of stories about surviving natural disasters. It's their cultural identity. The Coalition administrator, a tall, willowy alien with silver skin named Shen, raised her 4 arms for silence. "The Coalition welcomes the Drazek," she said. "Your resilience is admired by all. Your knowledge of survival in harsh conditions will benefit our shared knowledge base." Commander Vresh nodded, clearly pleased. "We bring strength to your Coalition. Our ships can traverse regions others find dangerous. Our bodies withstand conditions that would kill most of you." He looked around the chamber. "We have heard rumors of Coalition exploration ships being damaged in the outer reaches. Perhaps with Drazek crew members, such missions would be more successful." Mira tapped notes into her pad. "They're already positioning themselves as the tough ones who can solve everyone's problems." John nodded. "It's smart. The Coalition needs species who can handle extreme environments. The Drazek gets status. The Coalition gets capabilities. Everyone wins." A soft chime sounded on Mira's pad. She frowned at the notification flashing on her screen. "What is it?" John asked. "Something strange." Deep space sensors picked up an unidentified ship approaching from uncharted space. She swiped through more details. "It's not using any known propulsion system, but it's definitely artificial and making deliberate course corrections." Below them, the formal introductions continued, but John was no longer paying attention. First contact. Here? Now? Maybe, Mira said. Or perhaps it's just an unknown species from within Coalition space. There are still unmapped regions. John watched as Commander Vresh continued his speech, boasting about Drazak achievements and resilience. Should we tell them? Mira shook her head. Not yet. Let's get more data. Administrator Shen won't want to interrupt this ceremony unless we're certain. The alert on her pad changed from yellow to orange. The ship has changed course. It's definitely heading straight for Unity Hub. She looked up at John, excitement in her eyes. And it's moving fast. Faster than any Coalition ship I've ever seen data for. So much for the Drazak making a big entrance, John said with a small smile. Looks like someone else wants to steal their spotlight. Below them, completely unaware of what was approaching, Commander Vresh raised his hands to the assembled representatives. Remember this day, he proclaimed. The day the mightiest species joined your coalition. Mira's pad chimed again, more urgently this time. We need to tell Shen now, she said. The ship will reach us within 6 hours. And it's broadcasting something. She paused, reading the new information with widening eyes. John, they're broadcasting in multiple frequencies, including Earth Standard radio bands.